How's it going? You're watching Viral Video Fever with me, Charles Trippy. Right here. But before we do anything, I gotta do the intro, so hold on.
Viral Video Fever. Let's make a video, a viral video. Let's make a video with Charles Trippy. Let's make a video, a viral video. Let's catch a viral video fever.
Alright, so we're now on to the next section of the DVD, one of the other most important, and that has to do with lighting. Lighting is crucial to your video process because, you know, if you don't have proper lighting and people don't want to watch your video because they can't see what's going on, your time and effort is completely wasted. Believe it or not, if you just use proper lighting techniques, you can get your videos looking their best without having to spend thousands of dollars on cameras or lighting kits. Alright, so I'm going to show you some of the different, lighting techniques that you guys can use on your videos. Alright, so let's just, start off by going over some of the equipment. Before I tell you, how to use the equipment, you might want to know what the equipment is. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you guys, leather gloves. Seriously, the lights you guys are working with are hot. You're going to need a pair of these, trust me. My hands know. Best investment when working with lights, gloves. It's a good idea to have a couple pairs of gloves on set because, people are gonna be moving these lamps and they get really hot and you wanna always be, safe when you're working on your video. You don't wanna get burned and then be angry while you're recording because, your hand was burned because you moved the softbox and you burned your hand. So gloves. It's worth like the $6 that you can get gloves for, right? Alright, so the next bit of equipment I want to show you guys are these guys. You don't want to lick lights ever. Don't ever do that. It's not a good idea. This wonderful piece of equipment is called a softbox. And the purpose of the softbox, anyone? To make the light softer, to diffuse the light. It takes that harsh, bright light off your face and it kind of spreads it out and brings it a little softer, hence the name softbox. It's really good when you want to eliminate shadows because it's such a softer light as compared to, just a bright light on your face. It kind of takes the shadow and spreads it away. So let me show you. This is softbox, right? This is not a softbox. Harsh light. This is not what a softbox does. So now you can see the purpose of a softbox. Alright, so the next type of light I want to show you guys is this little guy. These are called Fresnel lenses, and this little flappy light things, they're called barn doors. You're able to, close them and open them like barn doors, hence the name, and you're able to, take your light and put it in a more concentrated area. The cool thing about a Fresnel lens is that it has a nice little switch at the bottom that lets you switch it, switch, and you're able to concentrate your light. So you can take your light and put it on a specific section of the scene, or you can spread it out throughout the entire scene. So Fresnel lenses are really cool because unlike the softbox where it just spreads the light everywhere and you have to bounce it off, different walls or reflectors, which I'm going to show you next, but the Fresnel lens allows you to, tweak it right on the light, so that's a cool thing. Alright, so the next light I want to show you guys is the more Gorilla Tactic lighting kit system. They're called halogen work lights. You might know them as, construction lamps. That's exactly what they are. You see these at construction sites. These things are really, really cool for lighting up entire scenes or lighting up your green screen, which is what I use them solely for here. But the problem with these things is they're just so hot and they're so bright. When you light it up in your face, like I showed you earlier, remember when it was blinding me? That's what I was using to show you. These things are really hard on your subject, so you're not able to use these on people unless you bounce them off a wall or use a reflector. But like I said, you can use these as your guerrilla tactic lighting kit. You don't want to spend money on softboxes or Fresnel lenses or anything else. You just want to get a bunch of these and just bounce them off the walls. That's fine. You can go to your local hardware store. You can pick these up for about $40, $50. You can get them in doubles or singles, anywhere from 1,000 watts to 500, 600 watts. It really doesn't matter. But remember when I said you need gloves? These are the suckers you need. I can just feel it right now. Yeah, you really need gloves on these, and they're really hot, so you have to be really careful. All right, so now we're at a local hardware store. No, we can't show you the rights because I didn't buy them. So we're at a local hardware store just to show you guys some of the lights that you can use to make your guerrilla tactic lighting kit. So we're gonna go inside now. So. Okay, we're here at the store. Shh. But I just wanted to show you that they had the lights that I was talking about. The work lamps. You gotta be quiet because the guys right over there told me to be quiet when I'm recording. No, seriously. Okay, you can get the singles or the doubles right here. And if you need a sledgehammer too, you can get them here too. You never know when you might need one, as we showed you earlier. About $25. $10, doesn't matter. These are the work lamps that you can use to either light up your scene or your green screen, whatever you're doing. These are the best lights. You don't have to spend a lot of money on your light kit. You can get them right here, and you can get like a shower curtain, put it in front of it. Don't put it on it because then it'll start a fire. Put it right in front of it. It'll diffuse the light, kind of like the softbox does. And you can get away without spending thousands of dollars on your light kit. You can do it right here for about 10 bucks. So. The construction work lamps. We gotta go because they're telling us we gotta go, so we gotta go. I mean, if you guys really, these are perfectly acceptable for lighting. I mean, just gotta bounce them off your ceiling or something like that and it'll look great. So, halogen work lamps, the alternative source. All right, so the next thing I wanna show you guys is called a reflector board. My hair just like, phew. And a reflector board does just that. It reflects the light. So like if you have a really harsh light, like I was showing you guys with the halogen work lamps, and you can take a reflector board and just like, you know, bounce the light right onto your subject, so that way, you know, you don't have that harsh, you know, light right on their face. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy a reflector board. In fact, I went and bought this from the local store, $5. It's just a windshield reflector, sun reflector. So you can use this, or you can get even more craft. You can make one out of poster board if you really want. But, you know, anything really works as long as you can really reflect a nice clear light right on your subject. So a reflector board is really helpful to have if you have really harsh light like the halogen work lamps. All right, in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys 3 different lighting techniques or styles, whatever you want to call it, in order to create your viral video masterpieces. They're very simple, very basic, and they're really easy to use on your videos, and they really do make a difference. The first one I'm going to show you is called 1-point lighting. Then the next one is 2-point lighting. Anyone know what the third one is? Third one is called 3-point lighting. Like I said, they're really easy, really basic, but the thing is, you know, they'll make your videos look better. So I'm going to show you the first one now, which is called 1-point lighting. All right, so 1-point lighting. It's pretty simple. You probably see this a lot in video bloggers. Simple light right on the subject, you know, right in front of your computer. You're lighting up your face, and that's pretty much it. This is used when you don't want to either set up a whole bunch of other, you know, lights just to do a simple scene, or, you know, if you only have one light. Either set the light up in the front like I do now. I have the softbox shining down on my face, or if you want, you can shine it down from below and turn off all the other lights and just shine right on my face, and then everything's black except my face. Or you can shine it from behind, you know, shining right on my head. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. It's for dramatic effect, you know, so it depends what you're looking for. But like I said, this type of technique you usually see on video bloggers. It's simple, it's affordable because you don't necessarily have to use the softbox. You could use anything. You can use fluorescent lights in your kitchen. You could use a desk lamp. It doesn't really matter. Whatever lights up your face, you know, 1-point lighting. So that's pretty much it. The 1-point lighting technique, like I said, is very simple. Most commonly used for video bloggers. If you just want to do a quick video, 1-point lighting, it's fine because you just can shine it right on your face, start talking to the camera like I'm doing now, and it looks wonderful. So The next one I want to show you is 2-point lighting. Any guesses? Alright, so the next technique I want to show you, 2-point lighting. It's pretty much the same as the 1 point, but with 2. 2-point lighting allows you to have that more professional look while creating your videos. Yeah, the 1 point, was nice, but you want more. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to introduce 2 more lights now. You got your key light, and then you got your fill light. Adjusting the placement of the key light on your subject will, accent its shadows and everything all over my face. So then you take your trusty fill light, put it on the opposite side of your key light to counter the shadows. Both lights need to be on a 45-degree angle of your subject. One's over there and one's over there. So, yeah. As you can see, I have my key light and I have my fill light. The key light provides most of the illumination for my face and my body, while the fill light takes out all the shadows. As you can see, they're placed on opposite sides of each other, about 45-degree angle for myself. Alright, so the third one I'm going to show you is called 3-point lighting. This is just as simple as the first two, but the cool thing about 3-point lighting, it makes your videos look even better. 3-point lighting is used in movies, film, television, whatever. This is the most widely used because it makes visual media look great. 3-point lighting consists of 3 types of lights. 3-point lighting. You have your key light and then you have your fill light, just like you had in the 2-point lighting, but we're gonna add a third one, which is called the backlight. Currently I have my key light and my fill light right on me, and then I added my backlight right now. Again, the key light, its sole purpose is to provide the most illumination for your subject, while your fill light kind of takes out all the shadows that your key light creates. So they're all working together to make your subject and your scene look great. So 3-point lighting is really easy to set up. I'll show you right now. So it's very simple. Now with the addition of the backlight, you can see how it's adding the depth behind me, shining on the back of my head, while having the key light and the fill light still at 45-degree angles. This way it puts, light all around my body and it lights me up in the best possible way. It's pretty basic stuff, but you wouldn't believe the amount of difference it can make to your videos. Just those 3 different lighting styles, the 1-point, the 2-point, and the 3-point, will make your videos look that much better. I just wanted to show you these 3 widely common, lighting styles right now. Again, the 1-point lighting is just your key light on your subject, one light illuminating your subject. While your 2-point has your key light and then it has your fill light. The key light and the fill light are both at 45-degree angles. The key light's main goal, illuminate the subject, while the fill light kind of takes out all the shadows and the contrast. And then your 3-point lighting has your key light, your fill light, and then it has your backlight. The key light to, illuminate again, the fill light to take out shadows, while the backlight was to add depth to your subject. As you can see, my lighting system has been tweaked. I have both professional-based lighting, and then I have more of the guerrilla type lighting. You can do that, it's okay. You can take, both ends of the spectrum and combine them to whatever you guys want. That's the whole point of me showing you this, is so you can take that to a whole new level. Yeah, that means new level. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you can, find your own style for your videos and make your videos look better. So let's move on to the next section of the DVD. All right. So when buying a video camera, there's a couple things you should consider before actually purchasing. One, main thing, your budget. How much are you willing to spend? 2, is this video going to be strictly for family vacations or showing your friends and family, hey, look at what little Johnny did today, or videos for YouTube, your viral videos, strictly for the internet? Or are you going to be doing some more professional things? Are you going to try to make commercials? Are you going to try to make little indie movies? These are things you need to consider, because you don't want to buy a camera, find out you can't do what you need it to do, and then you just wasted your money. So have that in the back of your head while I'm talking about the rest of these features that you should be looking for when buying your camera. Alright, so we're at a local pawn shop to get a camera. Jeff doesn't think we should get a camera here, but look at this, there's a camera right there.
Yeah, I don't think you should get that one.
Dude, look at it. Super VHS. It's great. Look at the screen on this.
That thing is from like 1980.
Dude, that was the best year ever. Look at the zoom.
Does it even have a zoom?
No, that's a volume. It's only $70. And look, they give you the option to buy your own battery. So, I mean, like, if you don't like their battery, you can get your own. I mean, this is great. I mean, it's got super in the name. It's got to be good, right?
Dude, this is such a good camera. Just turn the air on. It's really hot in here.
I mean, it's got everything we want. All right, let's start filming, dude. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right, dude, you ready? It's not turning on.
Did you push the button?
The red button?
I don't know. You're the one with the camera in your hands. Push the button that says on.
It doesn't have an on button.
It's right there.
Oh, okay. Dude, I seriously can't get the picture to look good on this thing.
Yeah, well, I told you not to buy a camera from a pawn shop.
All right, you know what?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where did you get the sledgehammer?
Tool World. Junk. $50 deal. I own you.
Wow. That was really mature, Charles.
All right, the first type of cameras I want to talk about are the consumer-based cameras. These are the cameras that you generally find for viral videos because they're the most affordable. You can generally find these at any retail store for about $200 to $600. They're really small, they're very compact, they're very easy to use, but there's some features on there that you need to make sure they have because the pro cameras have these, but not all the consumer ones do. All right, the first little feature that I want to talk about that you guys should be aware of is the zoom feature. Most, if not all, cameras come with this, but you know, never know, some cameras might not have a zoom. What happens when you're placed in a situation where you can't get closer to the objects? You zoom. Kind of like that, but a little bit better. Zooming can add enhancement to your video, can add impact. You can zoom in on something. So like if I go like this. Another good feature to look for on your consumer-based camera is to make sure it has image stabilization. Stabilization. This is a nice little feature because, you know, it gets rid of all that nice shakiness that when you're moving your camera really quick, it can ruin a video and you can't take it out in post. So having this on your camera built in really does help. Another feature that you want to look for when purchasing a camera is to make sure it has a mic input. Having a mic input allows you to add an additional mic to the already internal mic on the camera. All video cameras come with internal mics, but they're not the greatest. They pick up a lot of hum. They don't get all the background noise out of your video. You know, if you're far away, you can't hear people. Having the option to add an additional shotgun mic will enhance your video because, you know, you can't take everything out with editing.
Charles, I can't hear you. The camera on the mic's not picking you up. Talk louder. Louder! Talk louder!
What?
The mic isn't picking you up!
Another really crucial thing that you're going to want to make sure your camera has when you're purchasing is to make sure it has manual white balance. White balance basically takes away all those weird hue color contrasts in your film that really aren't in reality. Basically, in reality, you have a lot of white around it, but on your film, it looks blue. If you have the ability to white balance, you can make reality and your film the same. It really helps with the quality of your video. People can tell, and it's really easy to use, so you should always have it on your camera. Lastly, another cool little thing to have on a consumer-based camera is the ability to plug this in as a webcam. Let's say you don't want to record onto film and then upload it to your computer. Maybe you just want to plug it directly into your computer and use it as a web camera and talk to the world. If your camera has the ability to do that, it's great. It's an extra plus. I mean, you don't have to have it. It's just an extra little perk that a lot of people like, and I suggest looking for it to see if your camera can actually do that before buying it. Alright, now on to the more professional based cameras. These cameras can range anywhere from $1,500 all the way up to like $10,000. These are definitely out of the range for most viral video creators, but if you're planning on doing more serious things like commercials, independent films, maybe even a movie, these are the cameras you want. One of the features you're going to want to look for with your new professional based camera is to make sure it has the ability to manual focus. I mean, when you're zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out with autofocus on, your camera has no idea what's going on. It's having a brain fart, making everything blurry, and you're just like so frustrated because you can't get the picture that you want. Sorry. Having manual focus allows you to focus on specific things. You don't have to worry about the camera focusing in on the wrong thing. You tell it where to focus. Having the ability to manual focus allows your videos to be even more pristine and crisp and clean and clear. Having this ability is great when you want to have really professional based video. Just like the consumer based cameras, you're going to want white balance. Basically, different types of light have different wavelengths. Sun, more of the blue end of the spectrum, while light bulbs and indoor light is more of the yellow. So when you're recording something inside, you have sunlight coming in, you have light bulbs. The computer has no idea what's going on, so it makes things bluish yellow and it looks terrible. Having white balance allows you to get that reality white, is what I like to call it, because it's pure white back into your videos. No longer do you have this weird thing that the camera is pretty much giving, but you have more of a true white in the video, and it looks a lot better, a lot more professional, and people will appreciate it because once you see one end and then you see the other, you're like, wow, wow, wow. You're also going to want to make sure your camera is equipped with a little feature called 3CCD. They're basically little tiny microchips inside your camera that translate the real world that I'm in into the digital world inside the camera. It basically makes your video very crisp. It brings out the reds, brings out the colors, and it brings the quality of your video much higher. This also can be found on a lot of consumer-based cameras, but it's mainly found on the more professional grade cameras. You're also going to want to make sure you have a headphone jack and a mic jack. Headphone jack so you can listen to what's actually being said, because the speakers that come on the actual camera aren't great for listening. They're very small, very tiny, don't have true sound. And having a mic input as well allows you to add an additional shotgun mic just like the consumer-based cameras. This way you can get the best sound out of your video. Having these little tiny features really does help your video. Another cool little thing you want to make sure your camera has is the ability to remove the lens, and that way you can add additional lenses to it. Here, let me show you. Having the ability to remove the lens allows you to add additional lenses to change the aspect of the video. As you can tell, the video got a lot more narrow, less wide. This is actually a wide angle lens. Does exactly that. It grabs more of a wide angle, more of the surroundings. I like it, I prefer it, I think it looks really good. So having the ability to remove the lens is a definite plus because you can get an assortment of lenses. This one right here costs about $400, but it's definitely an investment, and it definitely makes your videos look a lot better. So it's nice to have all these manual options for your camera, but that can kind of get overwhelming. So make sure your camera has some auto functions. Maybe you can set the focus to focus on certain things, or you can set the certain white balance. That way your camera does what you want it to do automatically. So having a little bit of automated features on your camera is great because it frees up your time. You don't have to frame up every shot over and over and over and over and over. Your camera knows what you want it to do. So having that ability is also very nice to have on your camera. So now that you know a little bit more of the difference between the consumer-based cameras and the more professional-based cameras, or what to look for, we got another problem. High definition or standard definition? Don't worry, I'll tell you. Actually, I won't. I'll give you kind of pros and cons, and then you decide. Alright, so high definition quality. It looks freaking great, right? I mean, look at it. It's great. High definition! Amazing. Even, right? Almost. Anyway, not all editing software supports editing in high definition quality. On top of the fact that high definition files on your computer are huge. Then once you get your film edited and the way you want it, and you want to burn it onto a DVD and share with your friends, you got more problems. Not all computers come with high definition DVD burners. And if you do, if you finally actually get it burned onto a DVD and want to show it to your friends but it won't play, not everyone has high definition DVD players. So these are just a couple of the problems you might run into with high definition, but if you're prepared and you really want to use this format, it really does look great. Alright, now let's look at standard definition. Still pretty good quality. Not as good as high definition, but you know, it's still pretty lifelike. These are the issues with standard definition. You don't have that lifelike, realistic colors that high definition gives you. You are able to burn it and easily, you know, share it with friends, but you just don't have that quality that you get with high definition. So these are kind of the trade-offs you're gonna have to have. If you're prepared, you know, high definition is the way to go. I prefer it. I think it looks so much better. But standard definition is a little bit more accepted right now. You know, DVD players, DVD burners, editing software. Maybe in a couple more years, high definition will be a little bit more accepted, but it's starting to be. But those are just some of the things that you might want to consider additionally, you know, when buying a camera. All right, you guys, so now you know the difference between the recording mediums for your camera. You got mini DVRs, you got mini DVDRs, and then you got hard drive based cameras. It's hard to say which one's better than the next. It's all a matter of preference. So do some research, talk to people, go try the cameras out before you buy them, and see which one you're gonna like the best. Alright, so now you know a little bit about the differences between the consumer and the professional based cameras. And I taught you a little bit about the features that you want to look for when purchasing the cameras. I also told you about the different formats, you know, high definition and standard definition that these cameras can come in. Haven't got to talk about the different recording mediums that these cameras record onto. So I'm going to get to that right now. Alright, the first recording medium I'm going to talk to you guys about, these little guys. They kind of look like little mini VHS tapes, don't they? Alright, the advantage of the mini DV cassette tape. One, you have a hard copy. If your computer crashes, you still have your original files, so you don't flip out and go crazy because you lost your video. You still have it, you can re-import it. A disadvantage, when you import this onto your computer, you have to do it in real time. So if you shoot 60 minutes of footage, it's going to take you an hour to import it onto your computer. An advantage, they cost about $5 and you can get them in bulk for about 15. So they're pretty cheap. A disadvantage of the mini DV, they're only 60 minutes long, so you're gonna need a lot of them. It's currently the industry leader, so even the big dogs are using it. And you know, it's nice to have a hard copy, but you know, the real-time importing could kill it for a lot of people, so it's up to you guys. All right, the second medium I'm going to talk to you guys about are called the mini DVDRs. Exactly what I said, right? They're mini and they're DVDRs. A couple advantages of the mini DVR. They're compact, digital. You have a nice hard copy just in case you lose files on the computer. When you want to do playback, when you're shooting your video, you can just touch the screen on the camera and select the scene. A couple disadvantages of the mini DVDR is that they only record up to 30 minutes per disc. They're about $1 or $2. You can buy them in bulk, but that can get pretty expensive. Another disadvantage of these little guys, the mini DVDRs, is that it records in a format called MPEG-2. Not all editing software can edit this format, so you're gonna have to do some converting, but if you don't mind converting, it's a really good format. It's very compact. A lot of people prefer to have it on DVDs, so that's another option. The last type of recording medium that I'm going to talk to you guys about is hard drive based cameras. Hard drive based cameras are great because you don't need money to buy more tapes or DVDs. It goes right onto the camera. I'm currently using a Sony HDR SR5. That's what you're viewing me on right now. But like the other mediums, there are advantages and disadvantages of the hard drive based camera. First advantage, like I said before, you don't need to buy tapes. You don't need those anymore. They go right onto the camera. A disadvantage, you don't have tapes. So what happens when you import it on your computer and your computer crashes? You lose all your files and your career is over. Advantage, since you don't have tapes, you have an endless amount of recording time. The current one I'm using has 40 gigs, so that's about 800 minutes. So now you're not, faced with a dilemma of a crucial moment and then all of a sudden your tape runs out. A disadvantage. A lot of the hard drive based cameras record in a weird format that a lot of video editing software doesn't like. So like the mini DVDRs, you're gonna have to do some converting in order to edit it. But all in all, for a consumer based camera, they're really good for viral video making, because a lot of the people that are making these videos aren't doing this professionally, they're doing this for fun, and they don't want to have to deal with all those tapes. I, for one, would have to agree with that. So hard drive based cameras are really good, but you know, there's disadvantages like anything else. It's crazy cool. All right, so we talked about the types of cameras, the consumer or the professional. We talked about the ways these cameras can record, tapes, mini DVDs, or hard drives. We talked about standard definition and high definition. Now, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about accessories for your camera. All right, so you just dropped all this money on a camera. Now, the most important thing that you're gonna need to buy, a case. You just spent all that money, might as well protect your investment. They're like $20, maybe $40, depending on the type of camera you get. Definitely get one of these. So many times, this little case has saved my butt from dropping that camera. Hey, what do you want to film now, dude?
I don't know. You got any good ideas?
I don't know. Gee.
Fuck, dude. Are you okay?
We're good, dude. I landed on the case, but the camera's in the case. We're good. I would definitely recommend you getting a case for your camera. How's the shot?
It looks okay.
It looks okay? Is it great or is it just okay?
It's great. It's great.
Whoa, you hesitated. Seriously, is it great or is it just okay?
Just go, Charles. Just freaking go.
No, seriously, man. This is getting ridiculous. I'm doing the hard work. You're sitting there behind the camera. All you have to do is
You're just standing out there, Charles. You're just standing. That's all you do is stand.
That's all I do? If you decided to go the route of the mini DVDRs or the mini DVs, time to buy lots of these because you're going to be using them all the time. So stock up, save your money, stock up, buy lots of them because you're going to need them eventually. Another thing I would recommend getting is extra batteries for your camera itself. If you're on a long shoot and you have nowhere to plug your camera in, having extra ones of these will help you so you don't have to cancel your shoot and do it another day. So I recommend buying a couple of these and having them charged and in your case ready to go. Lastly, my favorite accessory I would have to say is the tripod. So many times I wanted to do a video, but I had nobody to hold the camera for me, so I would have to be doing videos with voiceover work, and it was terrible. So I invested in a tripod. It's great. It's like your new best friend as far as being a viral video creator. So they range anywhere from $15 to $300. Any one really isn't better than the next unless you get one with a fluid-filled head, which allows you to do panning and smoother up and down motions. But this one right here costs $20 and I got it at the local store. So tripods, definitely get a tripod. All right, you guys, that's it for the camera tutorial. Hope you guys learned a lot and you're able to make your decision now that you know a little bit about the features of cameras and the types of cameras and the mediums and all that wonderful stuff that was probably confusing you and shouldn't be now. I'm gonna go finish editing this video, which is what you guys just watched. You might be asking, how does he do it? Just look into my eyes. See you next time.
All right.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do this at all like that. I was just... Never mind. So you've made it to the next section of the DVD. This is going to be an overview of the different editing software that you can choose for making your viral videos. It's a pretty important decision. Which program will you create your masterpieces? This is probably where you guys are getting a lot of your frustration or your fear about creating videos online because you don't know anything about the editing software. You don't know which one you should use, which one's the best. So I'm going to show you 4 of them and I'm going to show you some of the pros and cons. a little bit of the overview of the program, and that way you can make your decision on which one will be best for you. I'll show you 2 free ones that come with Windows, which is called the Windows Movie Maker, or OS X for you Apple fans, iMovie HD. I'm going to also show you 2 that you're going to have to purchase. I know, more expenses, but the cool thing about this is a lot of them come with student discounts, so you can get them pretty cheap. One of them is called Adobe Premiere CS3 and the other is Final Cut Studio. Final Cut Studio is for OS X and Adobe Premiere CS3 is for Windows as well as Mac. So the first one I want to show you is iMovie HD. iMovie HD, like I said, comes bundled in the latest Apple computers. It's free, so that's a huge plus for viral video creators because, you know, we're broke. We bought all our equipment, now we want to make videos. We don't want to spend any more money. We want to make videos. Now I'm going to show you a little bit what this program can do, and if you want to use it, that's what I'm showing you. So, alright, so let me show you iMovie HD right now. So, boom. Alright, so iMovie is very easy to use, it's very user-friendly, and it's free. So these are already the pros, but I'm going to show you a little bit more of the cool things that iMovie can do for your viral videos. So starting iMovie is as easy as clicking the icon. You click the icon, and a nice little dialog comes up with 3 options. Yeah, 3 options. To create a new project, to open an existing project, or to make a magic iMovie. Since this is our first movie, we're going to click Create a New Project. So you just simply click the little button, and it brings up a save dialog where you can type the name or the save location. Once you do that, you just click Create, and it brings up iMovie for you. Now let me show you around so you don't feel overwhelmed and like, I don't know what that means. On the right hand side, you're going to see your storyboard. This is where all your clips are going to be imported to from your camera, from the files, your photos, or anything like that. It's going to be directly imported right here. So you can view it, nice little icons. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to add files from your computer. So that's easy. All you got to do is click File, Import. You find the little file that you want, and you click Open. It's going to import. It's going to take a couple minutes to import. Alright, so once your clip is actually finished importing, you're going to see on the right hand side in that storyboard mode, your clip. You have a nice little icon preview, and if you click that clip on the left hand side, your viewer, it's going to show you your video. So you can slide the little ruler down and you can watch your video. If you want, you can hit play and it plays. The nice thing about the viewer over there is everything plays in real time, so there's no rendering or any time wasted. It's all right there. You can hit play and you can watch your video. Let me show you a little bit more around iMovie. On the left hand side, you're going to see 2 little buttons. One's a little film strip and one's a little pie chart blue clock like thing, right? The left side is called the clip viewer. If you click it, it's kind of like the storyboard to the right where your clips were imported. You're able to drag your clip right onto it, and it's going to let you put your clips in order in the way you want it. It doesn't let you actually edit the files. This is just so you can get like a nice little storyboard, essentially. To the right of that little video clip, you're going to see that little pie chart clock thing. This is called your timeline viewer. If you click that, it's going to show you the length of your video. So this is where you're going to be able to make more of the precise cuts for your video in timeline viewer. Now, if you look to the right of those 2 buttons, you're going to see a nice little toggle switch, if you will. One has a little bit of a squarish, resembles a video camera. And to the right of that is some scissors. Now the difference between these 2. On the left hand side with a video camera, this is where you're going to be able to import footage from your video camera. Or if you have a built-in webcam on your computer, this is where your webcam is going to show up, so you can actually direct capture your face and it'll go right into iMovie. So that's nice. It's seamlessly integrated. And if you click the scissors, this is scissors means cut. So this is your editing line. So that's what that means. Pretty easy, right? Like I said, iMovie is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. To the right of those, you're going to see 3 more buttons. You're going to see the, looks like a reverse button or back to the track, previous track button. So let's say your cursor is right over here. You just click that button and it shoots you right back to the beginning of the movie. To the right of that, you're going to have your play button. This is where you're going to be able to hit play and your video plays. I don't really need to explain that anymore, I hope. To the right of that is a full screen button. If you click that button, your screen's going to fade and your video is going to play full screen. So that's nice. To the right of that, you're gonna see a volume slider. This allows you to adjust the volume of the output of the video onto your speakers, so it's pretty cool. Another really cool thing about iMovie is it seems to be right for viral video creators because, you know, it's got built-in themes, it's got built-in transitions, video effects, titles, audio effects, right in iMovie, so there's no extra plugins you need, it's right there. The problem is they don't have a lot of advanced composition tools, like green screening tools or any other high-end editing plugins. But what they give you is really good and really simple for basic users. Just below the storyboard and just above your timeline, you're gonna see 5 little buttons. Clips, themes, media, editing, and chapters. Clips is simply the storyboard where everything was imported. You know, that's how you get back to that. If you click themes, a nice little feature that iMovie gives you is built-in themes. So if you don't want to spend all that time doing crazy edits and stuff, you just want your video to look good. You had a vacation or whatever you want to do, family home video, clicking on a theme makes your video look so much better than just straightforward editing. So applying themes is so easy as well. Just click the theme you want, and in the viewer to the left, you're gonna see a nice little preview of the theme. You can change them, the road trip, the pass through, to reflection black or white. iMovie allows you to integrate this in your video seamlessly. So it's a simple drag and drop. Another cool little thing is the ability to do voiceovers. Let's say you want to do a little voiceover of your clip and you don't want to record it and kind of sync it up and do all this crazy stuff with your camera and then importing it. It kind of gets to be a pain in the butt. If you want to add photos, right next to the audio tab at the top right, just click photos and you're able to drag your photos right into your video. So that's nice too. To the right of the media tab, you're going to see something called editing. This is where you're going to get your titles, your transitions, your audio and video effects. iMovie has a lot of these built in, so you can drag them right onto your video, so it's really cool. You can adjust the speed, the pause time, the font. Pretty easy, right? Another cool thing is transitions. A lot of people like transitions, you know, the cross dissolves or the wipes or the swirls and stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that in iMovie. Next, you can do a lot of video effects. Now, this is pretty cool because you can add black and white, or you can do some aged film, or you can make some crazy electricity to your video, and then again, it's fully customizable. Next is your audio effects. This is where you can make, you know, reverb to your voice, or you can make yourself sound like a chipmunk if you really want to. You can preview it, and then you can apply it. You can add more or less. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Select a clip, click apply, boom, bada bing, bada boom. I hope that's not copywritten by anybody. Now that's the overview to iMovie HD. Now there's obviously some cons to the pros, so I'm going to tell you what those are. First off, iMovie HD doesn't support AVC HD format, which is a new format Sony and Panasonic has put on their new hard drive based cameras. iMovie 2008 does, but not all the Mac computers have iMovie 2008, so you're gonna have to find it, import using that, and then drag it over to iMovie HD, which can be kind of a pain in the butt. Next, iMovie doesn't allow you to do everything that you want to do in video editing. It only gives you one video track and then it gives you 2 audio tracks. So that can be kind of a problem if you want to, you know, do a lot of layers and stuff like that. You can't do that on iMovie. You're gonna need something more advanced. So that's definitely kind of holding people back. But if you just want to get started and just get your videos out there, iMovie's great. The problem is it's only for Macs. So if you're on Windows, you can't really use iMovie HD, obviously. But I'm gonna show you a couple of Windows-based editing software, so don't worry, you know, I got 3 more to show you, so. All right, so let's talk about the Windows Movie Maker program for your Windows XP and Windows Vista, Premium, and Ultimate. Now, Windows Movie Maker comes for free, so that's automatically a plus, and it's very easy to use, just like iMovie was for the Mac. Windows Movie Maker is for Windows. So I'm going to show you kind of like the overview of Windows Movie Maker, show you some of the pros and the cons and some of the little features, and yeah, let me show you a little bit around Windows Movie Maker. It's pretty easy. It's just like iMovie, very simple, very straightforward, which is good for beginners. First off, you see this big black screen. That's your viewer. This is where your video is going to show up, where you get to preview everything. This is where you're going to see your video. This is where everything's going to render. Just to the left, you're going to see something called Collection. This is where all your video clips are going to import, and you're able to see everything, make sure everything's there. So that's your collection. To the left of that is a nice little feature. It's called Movie Tasks. It gives you a nice little list from capturing video to importing video to adding transitions, titles, video effects, whatever. It's a nice 3-step process that kind of keeps you guys on track while you're creating your video, just in case you forget something. It's right there. So let me show you how easy it is to actually import a file that's already on your hard drive, for example. You just simply go to File, Import into Collections, like I said. You're gonna find your file and just click Import. It's gonna show up in your collections right over here, and it's gonna show up on your viewer. So, you can double click it and it's gonna start playing here in your viewer. If you look at the bottom right, you're gonna see something that says Show Storyboard. If you remember in iMovie, it had that little film strip and then that had that little clock thingy. It's kind of like the same thing. Storyboard, you click, it's just like the clip viewer in iMovie. You click it and you see a little storyboard. So you can drag your clip right into it wherever you want, and you can order it. You can put it wherever you want to put it. But with storyboard mode, you can't really edit anything. You can just storyboard, just like it says. Pretty straightforward, right? When you want to do more precise edits, you click on Show Timeline, which is right here. And then you can see your clip. You can move your little cursor around the clip. And yeah, this is where you're gonna be able to make your cuts. To the left of that is your play button, which is play. Yeah. And then you're gonna see that back to the beginning of the movie button, the previous track button. Then you're gonna see a little magnifying glass, which has a minus and a plus. Simple as that. It zooms in, zooms out. I know, it's pretty easy. Just like iMovie, Windows Movie Maker allows you to do voiceovers very easy. It's right there next to the 2 magnifying glasses. It's right here, called Narrate Timeline. A little microphone, right? You just gotta click it, click Start Narration, and you start talking over wherever you want the clip to be voiceovered, and then you just click Stop. You're gonna have a nice little save dialogue right there. Just call it voiceover 1, 2, whatever you wanna call it. Click Save. And then it's going to save, and it will put it right there underneath your clip in the audio section. So that's a really convenient thing to have while editing, so you don't have to deal with recording everything with a camera. Now to the left of the microphone, you're gonna see the audio levels. You can just click it and you can adjust it with a little slider, and it's going to adjust your video. It's pretty simple too. Now let's talk about a little bit of the effects that Windows Movie Maker allow you to do while, editing your film. Windows Movie Maker comes with an assortment of titles, transitions, video effects, and it's very easy to use and very easy to apply to your video. I'm going to show you really quick. Now all you got to do at the top, you see a little drop down menu, just click it and you see video effects. Simply just click video effects and you're going to see all the effects that Windows Movie Maker allow you to use on your videos. By clicking on them, on the right hand side on the viewer, it shows a little preview. Just hit the play button and it'll show you, there's a fade out to black, or here's a mirror horizontal, or if you want to make the video look all old, here's a film age. Whatever, you can choose whatever you want. You can delete, add, subtract, whatever you want to your video, but it makes it really easy. So let's say you want the fade out to white. All you gotta do is just drag it to your clip and drop it. Simple drag and drop. Pretty easy, right? Select the film age and click it, hold down and drag and drop over it, and then if you preview it, it's gonna look all old and grainy and very not high quality, but that's what you're going for, so that's good. So there's a whole bunch of video effects built into Windows Movie Maker itself, but just like iMovie, since it's a free program, you can't do a lot of crazy editing stuff. Like you can't do the green screen, you can't do any pixelation of like blurs or layers. Since Windows Movie Maker only has the 1 video track, like iMovie, and then a couple audio tracks, you can't do the layers. So that's a disadvantage that you're gonna have, but it's a free program and you can do a lot of cool things with it, so that's a plus. Now let's say you want to add some transitions between clips. Just like the video effects, there's going to be a whole bunch you can choose from. You can just select the one you want to preview, click play, and you're able to see the preview of what it's going to look like. Alright, so if you look on the left side, the movie clips, remember that? We've pretty much followed the directions so far, but maybe we want to add a title. We've added our effects and our transitions. If you look, it says right here, make titles and credits. add credits at the end, you type in whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then you click done, add title to movie, and then it shows up right here at the end of your movie, just like you told it. So it's pretty simple. Now there's a couple problems with Windows Movie Maker. If you're on a Mac, you can't use Windows Movie Maker, obviously, title Windows Movie Maker. Another problem is it doesn't accept a lot of files. You can't use AVCHD format. You also can't import .mov files, which is QuickTime files, into Windows Movie Maker, which can be frustrating for some people. It also doesn't allow you to export a lot of different files. It lets you mainly export in .avi and .wnv. A lot of online video sites allow these formats, but sometimes you lose some quality, so you know, that's definitely a disadvantage. But all in all, Windows Movie Maker, it's a pretty solid product. I mean, if you're just starting off and you're on Windows and you don't really have the money to spend on, you know, any fancy editing software, use Windows Movie Maker. It's right there on your computer, might as well utilize it, right? In the next video, we're going to show you a little bit more on how to edit with this software, but I just wanted to give you kind of like an overview of what it looks like and your options and what it can do. But yeah, that's Windows Movie Maker. The next one I'm going to show you is back on the Mac. It's called Final Cut Pro, but this is one that's not free. You're going to have to buy this, but there's discounts. So I'm going to tell you about that right now. Alright, so I've shown you two free editing programs, one for Mac and one for PC. The one for PC, Windows Movie Maker, and the one for Mac, iMovie HD. Now these programs are really good for your basic operations for video editing, but when you really want to get to the nitty gritty, the advanced, the crazy stuff, you're going to need to make more of an investment in your editing software. So I'm going to show you two different editing programs. One is called Adobe Premiere CS3. I'm going to show you that one right now. Alright, so when you first start Adobe Premiere, you're going to get a little dialogue like you did with iMovie, where it's going to ask you to create a project, open a project, or, you know, help. Since I'm helping you right now, let's just click New Project. So you just click it. Now you're going to have a little dialogue that's going to ask you what kind of format you're going to want to edit your video. So the format that you're going to be editing in depends on your camera. If you're recording with high definition or digital video standard definition, that's where you're going to be selecting from right here. So right now it's just select on DV NTSC. The 32 kilohertz is fine, and then just at the bottom where it says name, just type a name, Super Video. Click OK. And now you're going to see the whole layout of Adobe Premiere CS3. On the right hand side, you're going to see your viewer, you know, the black box on the top right. This is where your video is going to be shown, you know, once it's rendered and everything like that. Below that, you're going to see all the little controls, you know, play, fast forward, beginning clip, end clip, typical stuff, right? Now below it, you're going to see the timeline. This is the big difference between Adobe Premiere and iMovie and Windows Movie Maker. If you notice, you're going to see several video tracks and you're going to see several audio tracks. You're able to now layer your video, so you're going to have a little bit better quality. You're going to be able to do a little bit more. You're not going to be limited now. Now importing with Adobe Premiere is very simple. If you're importing from your camera, just click File, Capture, and a nice little capture dialog is going to come up right here. And you're going to be able to set your in points, your out points. That's basically what that is this is where I want it to import from, this is where I want it to stop. Pretty crazy, right? And that way you don't have to import everything. So it gives you more control. If you want to import something just from your computer hard drive, just click Import, locate it on your hard drive, and then click Import. It's going to import your file now. And then once it imports, on the left-hand side, you're going to see this clip. You can double-click it, and it's going to show up right here in your previewer. Right here, right next to your actual viewer. And you're going to be able to actually look at your video before, you know, dropping it in your timeline. So you can set your in points and your out points by hitting I or O, and then simply dragging that section onto your timeline. Simple as that. So now you have it right on your timeline. You're able to hit play, and you know, you can watch it here in your previewer, and then you can actually watch it how it's going to actually look when you output the video. Pretty simple, right? Now if you look at the bottom right of the screen, these are your tools. You got your selection tool, you got your track select tool, you got your ripple edit tool, you got your rolling edit tool, you got your rate stretch tool, you got your razor tool, which allows you to cut your video, razor cut, you know. You got your slip tool, You got your slide tool, slip and slide. You got your pen tool, you got your hand tool, and then you got your zoom tool. So it's a lot of tools in there. You know, if you remember on the other 2 free programs that they didn't have that many tools. So this gives you a little bit more, you know, control over your video. I'm gonna show you all this in DVD 2 on how to use these tools and make your video cool. But right now I just wanted to show you that this has all this stuff. Another cool thing about Premiere is that it has an endless amount of plugins and third-party content that you can actually put into your project. So let's say Adobe Premiere doesn't have the plugin you want. Let's say somebody else does. You can actually find it and get that and bring it into your Premiere installer. So you can have crazy amount of transitions. Adding titles is just as simple. Adding transitions and effects with Premiere is just as easy with Movie Maker or iMovie, except it lets you do a little bit more now. You can do green screening, you can adjust the color a little bit more, you can do a little bit crazier effects. This is definitely an advantage with Premiere. Some of the disadvantages with Premiere is that it's not a free program anymore. You have to pay at least $800 just to get the program. And then there's a suite you can buy for about $1,700, which are a bunch of programs that take your video even further. A lot more crazy things you can do with these programs, but like I said, it's a little bit pricey. But there are student discounts, so if you're in school, that's good. If you're not in school, find somebody who's in school to buy it for you. A cool thing about Premiere is that it works with any format. Like I was telling you earlier, you can do high definition, you can do standard definition. Another really cool thing about Premiere is that you can actually encode your video to play it in a Blu-ray disc drive. So that's definitely something that's everybody's gonna want in like 5 years. So you're already a couple steps ahead of them. You're already making videos for Blu-ray, so hey, that's already built in to Premiere, so that's definitely an advantage. Another disadvantage of Premiere is that it's a little bit more complex than Windows Movie Maker and iMovie HD. So if you're wanting to just make your videos now and get them out, this probably wouldn't be your best choice since it's gonna take you some time to get familiar with it. But if you're in this for the long haul and you're really serious about what you're doing and you really wanna make this your career, Adobe Premiere is something to check out. The cool little thing is that Adobe Premiere CS3 comes on Mac and Windows, so it doesn't matter what kind of computer you can have Adobe Premiere. Alright, so that's the basic overview of Adobe Premiere. I'm going to talk to you in depth in DVD 2 about how to use these tools and how to optimize your video. But I just wanted to give you a nice little view of what it is and let you make your decision. So the next one I'm going to show you is Final Cut Pro. It's similar to Premiere, you know, it's really in depth and it takes some time to learn, but there's some real cool features on that as well. So I'm going to get to that right now. Alright, so now we're at the final editing program I'm going to talk to you guys about. It's called Final Cut Pro. It's for the Macintosh computer. Final Cut Pro is similar to Premiere in the, you know, aspect that it's more in depth than iMovie and Windows Movie Maker. It's a little bit more pricey. It's not free anymore. Like Premiere wasn't free, neither is Final Cut Pro. But it does let you do a lot of cool things. So I'm going to get into that right now. Alright, so when you open Final Cut Pro, you're going to notice it looks similar to Premiere, right? On the right hand side, you're going to notice you have your canvas viewer. So, you know, that's where you're going to see your video on your timeline. To the left of that, you're going to see your viewer or your previewer, which allows you to see the clips before you throw them on your timeline. Then you have your browser, and then below that you have your timeline. Looks pretty similar to Premiere. Importing with Final Cut Pro is really easy. It gives you a few options. If you have a hard drive based camera that supports AVC HD format, all you got to do is click File, Log and Transfer, and your camera's going to come up on the screen and you're going to be able to drag and drop it, and it's going to convert it into a file that you can edit. If you're recording off your camera, you know, you're capturing off your camera, just go to File, Log and Capture, and import it from there, and it'll bring everything into your browser over here on the left hand side, and you're going to be able to see your files. You can organize it all every which way. Let's say you're just importing, you know, a file off your computer. You can either go to File, Import Files, you know, just one file, or an entire folder. Let's just click Files right now and find your file and click Choose, and then right here on the left hand side, your browser, you're gonna see your clip. You can double click it and it's gonna show up here in your viewer, and you can look at your clip. You're able to set your in points and your out points just like you can on Premiere, and drag and drop right onto your timeline. One cool feature that I really like about Final Cut Pro is that when you first import your files and drag it onto your timeline, the first file you do, it's gonna ask you if you wanna convert your sequence, your entire sequence of your video to the file format that you're importing, or if you don't want to. So like, let's say your file that you're importing is different than your sequence to your video, it'll change it for you and you don't have to mess with that. So that's really nice, very convenient, and it'll save you a lot of time later and frustration. And if you look on the right hand side, you're gonna notice your tools, just kind of like Premiere had. You're gonna have your selection tool, you're gonna have your edit selection tool, you're gonna have your select track forward tool, you're gonna have your roll, you're gonna have your slip, you're gonna have your razor, remember that's to cut your files. You have your zoom, you're gonna have your crop, you're gonna have your pen. These tools are gonna, you know, obviously allow more precision when editing. That, like I said before, like with Premiere, you know, iMovie and Windows Movie Maker doesn't really have all these. They have the zoom and they have the cut and the selection, but they don't have everything else. And like I said before, we're gonna get more detail in the next DVD. I'm gonna show you how to work with all this stuff. But like I said, I just wanna get you familiar with the program so you make a decision and we can start from there. Another really cool thing about Final Cut Pro is that there's a large community base. So if the 150 effects and transitions and titles and stuff like that built in there already isn't enough for you, you can find more throughout the net and install them on your Final Cut Pro. So that's definitely a huge plus. Here's the downside. Final Cut Pro is very expensive. It's about $1,700, but like Premiere, there's student discounts. And like I said, if you don't know a student, find somebody off the street and give them 10 bucks to buy it for you. If they're students, obviously, then it'll save you money, right? Another thing you're gonna notice here in the timeline is you're gonna be able to add more video tracks and add more audio tracks. Premiere allowed you to do this, but Movie Maker and iMovie did not. So you can have many tracks and you can layer them as you wish. So that really makes it a lot easier, so you don't have to cut a lot just to have everything fit on that one line. You can actually make it easier for you. So that's definitely a huge plus as well. Another downside to, you know, Final Cut Pro is that it only works for Macintosh computers. So if you're on Windows, you're not gonna be able to use Final Cut. So like I said earlier, I gave you 2 more options and they're really good products and they can really, really help your viral videos. Another really cool thing is that exporting with Final Cut Pro is very easy. You can export it using the compressor. You can actually export it to DVD files. You can actually even set DVD chapter markers throughout your video. So if you're making this video for a DVD, like I am right now, I can set chapter markers throughout my timeline. So when I actually throw it to DVD Studio Pro, I'm able to easily see where the chapters are and I'm able to write my DVD a lot easier. So that's really cool that a lot of these professional-based editing programs can, you know, do these things. The basic ones, you know, they're just meant for getting you started, you know, learning the basics. Final Cut Pro is not for everybody. It takes time to learn. You're gonna spend a lot of time, you know, learning the basics, getting familiar with the interface before you can actually start really making your videos. So if you're wanting to just jump in and get into the viral video market, I gotta stop doing that, don't I? Then iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, that'll do. But if you really, like I said with Premiere, really want to do this professionally, Final Cut and Premiere are really good programs to, you know, invest in and learn. Now there's even more to learn about Final Cut Pro and how to actually use it. I'll teach you later, but this is just, you know, the kind of an overview just to see what it looks like and see, you know, your options and let you choose. So, all right, you guys, so those are the 4 editing programs that I wanted to show you right now. I didn't get in too much depth because I really didn't want to overwhelm you guys right off the bat. I wanted to get you guys, you know, a little bit feel for the layouts of these programs and, you know, kind of a general what they can and can't do kind of thing. So I just wanted to show you these things, you know, take a little time, you know, play with the free ones. You know, if you're on a Windows-based computer, use Windows Movie Maker. Just kind of play around, tinker with the toys. And if you're on iMovie HD, you know, goof around on there too. And then if you really want to, you know, get into the nitty-gritty kind of stuff, just said nitty-gritty, then we can move on to the more advanced editing software like Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro. Remember, Premiere works for Mac and, you know, Windows, but Final Cut only works for the Mac. Take an account of the price difference and then you can make your decision from that. So in the next DVD, I'm going to show you guys more of the basics as far as editing your video using these programs. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to overwhelm you with everything all at once. I wanted to get you into the flow of, you know, what you're gonna need. That's what this DVD is for, so you guys can get more of an overview of the options that you're gonna have when creating viral videos and how to optimize your videos to the fullest potential. So we're gonna move on to the next segment right now, so fancy transition now. It's like 3D. I'm like coming at you. Welcome. All right, so we're now on to the final section of the DVD. You guys getting stoked? You guys getting pumped? Make your viral videos? I ate a lot of candy today. Whew, what was that, right? All right, so now we're on to the last section of DVD number 1. I've told you guys about the different types of cameras you guys can select. I've told you guys some of the different editing software you guys can choose to edit your masterpiece. I've also shown you guys some different lighting techniques, so that way your videos will look a lot more professional and people will take you more serious. And I mean, you want your videos to look good, so yeah. This section of the DVD is about planning and organization, because if you're not organized when you're making your videos, you're gonna be doing it for a long time. Some of the tips I'm gonna give you guys are gonna help you, you know, make everything faster. Your recording time is gonna be cut in half. You know, you're not gonna lose your ideas, you know, because trust me, I've lost so many ideas. The first tip I wanna give you guys, write everything down. Seriously, I can't emphasize that enough because I've lost countless ideas for video projects because I didn't write them down. So what I suggest is to invest in a notebook. Any notebook, anything you possibly can to write notes down. If you look at it, these are just some of the ideas that I've had for this DVD set alone. I probably would have lost everything, you know, if I didn't keep my little black book. So invest in a notebook. Write everything down. So invest in a notebook. Down. It's better to get a notebook that you can always, you know, put in your pocket. That way you can have it wherever you go. You can use some sort of PDA or cell phone or anything you can to write down your ideas. You're also gonna notice once you start writing down ideas, you're gonna start getting more and more ideas. This is brainstorming. From writing down your original idea, you're getting more ideas. And since you wrote them all in your notebook, your ideas are now safe. Just don't lose the notebook. Because after a while, everything you do is gonna start to seem like a 30-second video. You're gonna get ideas with anything you do in life, and having the ability to, you know, jot it down will let you have countless ideas. So write down every idea you have. Whether it's good or bad, you can sort it out later. Notebooks, write things down. Definitely suggest doing that. The next tip I want to give you guys is called scripting. I know a lot of viral video creators and a lot of beginners don't really want to conform to the idea of scripting out everything before doing their video. I mean, I was one of them. I didn't start scripting my videos until way later in the game, and after I started doing it, I realized how stupid it was that I didn't do it from the beginning. The time I could have saved, the amount of money I could have saved. Scripting is good. It might take you some time, you know, getting the hang of writing dialogue, but once you do, your video flows so much better. Hell, I mean, right now, what I'm doing, I'm reading right off a script. So, you don't believe me? Right there. It's a script. Scripting allows you to sort out your thoughts for your video, your ideas. By writing them down in dialogue form, it's gonna help your actors as well. If you're doing a video that involves more than just yourself, they have no idea what you want them to say, and unless you tell them, they're just gonna say whatever they want. So having a script ready allows your actors to know what's going on and be more prepared, allows you to be more prepared, and allows your video, your final product, to be superb. What, you doubt me? Seriously, you're doubting me. Okay, you know what? Let me show you an example of a poorly scripted skit right now, so, booyah.
That's Appleific.
That's aptastic.
That's amazing.
Wait, hold on. Fab, amazing. Wait, is that supposed to be?
good then?
Yeah, that was
Did
right.
you say apple? You're supposed to be.
See, it pretty much reeked, right? You know, it had no flow, it was all crazy, and nobody had any idea what they were doing, right? It was pretty much confusion. Now, let me show you that same skit scripted. So now the actors know what they're doing.
That's appleific.
It's apptastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, see, it was better because they scripted that they were gonna be bad actors. So, yeah, you see, yeah, you like that, right? You know, yeah. All right, seriously though, scripting will help you make your videos better. Simply take out a piece of paper, open up Notepad on your computer, and just start writing down what you want to say. It's very simple. It'll help you expand your ideas for your videos. So, scripting, another good idea. All right, the next tip I want to give you guys. I'm casting a spell on you, isn't it? The next tip, organize. Now this is different than brainstorming and scripting. This deals with you planning your actual video shoot. Okay, so let's say you need to have a certain location or a certain actor. Maybe you even have a budget. This is where the organization of your video prior to shooting your video becomes key. All right, so let's say hypothetically, you're shooting a video and all of a sudden you need a bloody stump of an arm with your scene, but you don't have it because you didn't anticipate it. You didn't plan a bloody stump prop, did you? No, you didn't. So everyone's sitting there laughing at you and pointing at you and throwing rocks at you because you didn't remember your bloody stump of a hand. This could have been all avoided if you just organized it prior to shooting. So organizing your videos before you're actually setting out to record is a good idea. What I like to do is get a nice little planner, write down a little checklist of the items that I'm gonna need. I take that and I go over it with friends and actors that are gonna be in the video, and I'm gonna say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna shoot it, this is the time we're gonna shoot it. Can you think of any other ideas or props or equipment that we might need for our video? This way, when you actually go to shoot your video, you have everything you need. You don't have to stop, you don't have to cancel, you don't have to postpone shoots. You can just start shoot. Video's done, and you can move on. All right, the next bit of advice, your budget. Just because you're creating viral videos doesn't mean you want to spend an outrageous amount of money on your videos, right? Because if you're like me or anybody else, I guess, you're probably like this. You're broke. Thought I had $1 in there at least. But like I said, that's okay. You don't have to always spend money to make really good videos or very eye-catching videos or very viral videos. Your videos can be just as entertaining without a budget as the big budget guys could be. But if you're one of the lucky guys who has a budget, you're gonna wanna pay attention to detail. You're gonna wanna look up how much things are gonna cost you prior to actually going out and shooting. You're gonna wanna get all this stuff taken care of. This pretty much ties into the organization phase. You know, you're gonna wanna make sure you have your budget in line so you know what you need to buy, you need to get it, and have it for your shoot. So that way, you're not having to cancel. Like I said with the organization phase, this is kind of this. It's organized and that means come together. It's like I'm picking your guys' nose. That'd be weird if I could actually do that. All right, so it's time for the actual shoot. So if you followed these tips, shooting should be a breeze now. I mean, you have everything organized. You have your script. You have the idea what you want. You have your budget. You have your equipment. You have your actors in line. You have everything. You're ready to make viral videos. So it's time. The moment we've waited for now. The actual shoot. Now it's time for you guys to go out there and film your viral video. I want you guys to choose which camera you're gonna get. I want you guys to write down all your video ideas. I want you guys to start scripting. I want you guys to start making videos. Now in the next DVD, I'm gonna show you guys how to set up everything for your video. I'm gonna show you guys more in depth on how to use specific lighting for a specific scene. I'm gonna show you guys how to edit your video using some of those editing programs that I showed you guys earlier. I'm gonna show you guys how to make your video. The main point of this DVD was to get you guys motivated. There are so many options when it comes to making videos. People get so confused and so overwhelmed that they don't even try. So I wanted to break things down for you guys into simple categories so that way you guys can make a decision that's best for you. And then that way you can make your videos. So that way in the next DVD we can show you how to use those tools and techniques that we've taught you today. So I hope you guys were inspired. I hope you guys are really gonna continue with this. And in the next DVD I'm gonna show you guys even more. So I hope to see you guys soon. Seriously, start making your videos. Get up, you can do it. I know you can, seriously. We've made a connection by now, right? You, right there. Right there. Get off the beanbag. Seriously guys, I hope you learned a lot and let's start making viral videos. I'm Charles Trippy. You just watched Viral Video Fever. See you later. It's Kel and I. Well, actually, it was my fault.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I forgot to put audio on our recording for the smashing, so we're gonna get technical and blow your guys' brains right now, but we're going to create artificial, actually it's not artificial, we're just gonna recreate it and then dub it over, so. There's our new TV. Can I ask you a question? Al, could you take that off of her, please? Alright, so here's another example of what one-point lighting system. This is a really important step. Most important. Alright, now we're on to the next.
You know, Charles, just because they can't see your legs doesn't mean you don't have to wear pants.
I'm a dog and I type on computer, blah blah blah, just like Zoe does. Who's squeaky? Let me move the mouse.
Oh, it's CTFxC Phil. Delete. I feel like I'm getting a tan by white light.
We could have it where I'm like,
Yeah.
get ready?
Yeah.
And action.
As you can see, moss grows on the west side of this tree.
Where did you get that at? Where'd you get the fudge? Okay.
Did you just throw it? It smells like poo over there.
It smells like poo.
Like alligator poo.
You want me to like...
Found the case. I mean, the tape.
Yeah.
600 zoom. Super in the name. It's got to be good, right?
I think that's enough, Charles.
Can you see me? Can you see my eye? And we're back. Was that over exaggerated? Alright, so you guys are probably watching this DVD set because of one of two reasons. One, your parents bought this and gave it to you as a gift, but you have no idea why. They're trying to get you guys out of the house. They're sick of you eating all the Cheetos. Or two, You're genuinely interested in creating viral videos, but you just don't know how. You don't know the proper lighting techniques, you don't know the cameras, you don't know how to edit. The skills I'm going to teach you in these DVDs are going to help you create your viral videos and expand your mind in the online market. I'm going to show you guys the difference between the two types of cameras. You can get your pro models or you can get your consumer models, which are more affordable and more likely the best choice for creating viral videos. And I'm going to show you guys proper lighting techniques. Since uploading your stuff online kind of compresses it into a nice 320 by 240 frame, your quality of your video out the door. So having proper lighting, really bright, very vivid colors in your video when you originally shoot it makes it look so much better when it's finally uploaded. I'm going to also show you guys how to brainstorm and organize your videos, because if you have no idea, you don't need the equipment. You should be starting on that before we do anything else, you know. I'm going to also give you guys examples of a few editing software programs that you guys can use to create your videos. I'm going to show you 2 free ones, and then I'm going to show you 2 that you have to purchase. But luckily there's student discounts for both of them, so if you're a student, perfect. Before we get started, I just want to talk a little bit about myself so you guys have a general idea where I'm coming from. Because I can see it in all you guys' eyes right now. You're like, who's he and what does he think he could teach us about viral videos? I'm glad you asked, sir in the camera. Like I said earlier, my name is Charles Trippy. I've been creating viral videos for about 2 to 3 years now. Majority of that time I spent posting on YouTube.com. Within those 2 years, I've been able to get my channel within the top 100 all-time subscribed. And from this notoriety that I gained from viral videos, I've been able to do work for other television stations. I've been able to gain sponsorships. I've been able to make money and monetize my videos and make a nice side income while I'm attending school. I also run a film production company with my friend Jeff Takeover called Trippy Takeover Films. In my opinion, the best way to gain exposure if you're an actor, an actress, or singer, or songwriter, or comedian, post videos online. No longer do we have to go to these companies and do auditions and wait in line, deal with receptionists saying hold on, and then you're like, no you hold on, no you hold on, and then you get in a big argument. But now these companies are coming to us because we're getting notoriety online. So this is a very, very, very big thing that everyone needs to start getting in on before it's too late. Alright, so you guys ready to create some videos?
Oh, Bob showed, Gina showed, Peter showed, Carl showed, Jim showed, Tina showed, Ross showed me, then Tony showed, Mike showed, Jeff showed, Charles showed, Dan, Sarah, Tom, and Lonely Girl 15. Then DC, Lukey did a video response, but Simpsons did it first, so I guess he kinda lost. Hey, we're up to 80 comments now, but some of them are spamming, so Guy who thinks it's photoshopped and everything's a scam. But Sparkle 16 says she knows me IRL, and she's number 3 subscribed, so she knows just what the hell she's talking about. So you need to better just ask me a few, and holy crap, 1,000 views now. I don't care about real life.